Star Trek fans may not have realized, but one of the show's biggest betrayals was all an act. Star Trek has always thrived on the tension between loyalty and deception, exploring how trust can be tested in the far reaches of space. Over the decades, the franchise has given audiences shocking betrayals, from Starfleet officers defecting to enemy factions to beloved characters seemingly turning against their crewmates. But what many fans may not realize is that one of the franchise's most shocking betrayals wasn't a betrayal at all. It was a calculated act, orchestrated to protect lives and preserve the ideals of Starfleet. This moment, buried in the franchise's long history of morally complex storytelling, showcases Star Trek at its very best. A reminder that sometimes appearances deceive, and loyalty can be hidden beneath the mask of betrayal. The art of betrayal in Star Trek. Before diving into the specific moment, it's important to understand why betrayal resonates so strongly in Star Trek. The franchise is built on trust, the faith between crew members, the Federation's ideals, and the fragile alliances between species. When someone breaks that trust, it shakes not only the characters but also the audience. Think of Spock seemingly defecting in the Enterprise incident, or Michael Eddington's shocking betrayal of Captain Sisko in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. These moments sting because Starfleet officers are supposed to embody the highest ideals of loyalty and integrity. When they falter, or appear to falter, it challenges everything fans expect from these characters. But sometimes, Star Trek uses betrayal as a mask, a narrative sleight of hand, showing us that the real story is not about disloyalty, but about sacrifice and strategy. Spock's betrayal of Kirk. One of the earliest and most iconic examples comes from Star Trek, the original series, in the Season 3 episode The Enterprise Incident. In it, Spock appears to betray Captain Kirk, aligning himself with the Romulans and exposing Kirk as a rogue officer violating neutral zone treaties. For much of the episode, Spock's behavior is cold, logical, and seemingly self-serving. He even develops an unsettling rapport with the Romulan commander, leaving Kirk and the audience isolated and furious. Fans watching for the first time could be forgiven for believing Spock had truly abandoned Kirk. His betrayal is played with absolute conviction, right down to his dispassionate description of Kirk's mental instability. But the twist reveals the truth. The betrayal was an elaborate ruse, carefully orchestrated so Kirk could steal the Romulan cloaking device. In reality, Spock's loyalty was unwavering. His deception wasn't meant to harm Kirk, but to protect him and ensure the mission's success. What looked like one of the earliest and most devastating betrayals in Star Trek was, in fact, an act of trust. Spock trusted Kirk to play his role. Kirk trusted Spock to finish the plan, and both trusted the crew of the Enterprise to bring them home. The hidden brilliance of the ruse. What makes Spock's betrayal so effective is how convincingly it's executed. The Romulan commander believes it, Kirk believes it, and the audience, at least on first viewing, believes it too. That level of deception required Spock to compromise his reputation and temporarily damage his bond with Kirk, all in the service of a higher cause. This is the essence of Star Trek's brilliance. A betrayal that isn't a betrayal at all. It's an act of loyalty that requires the appearance of disloyalty. Spock sacrifices his image, even risking his friendship with Kirk, to serve Starfleet's mission and safeguard the Federation. Echoes in later Star Trek. This act of betrayal trope would echo throughout later Star Trek series, reinforcing the idea that sometimes the appearance of disloyalty is necessary for the greater good. In Deep Space Nine, Odo briefly sides with the Dominion during the occupation of the station, but his loyalty is never truly broken. He's caught in a web of identity and temptation. In Voyager, Tuvok infiltrates a Maquis cell before the series begins, appearing to betray Chakotay, but ultimately fulfilling his duty as a Starfleet officer. Even Michael Burnham in Star Trek Discovery is branded a mutineer in Season 1. Her actions seen as betrayal until the deeper motivations are revealed. Each of these arcs ties back to the Spock template. Betrayal as an act, a tool, a narrative mask. The betrayal hurts, but when the truth emerges, it deepens the audience's understanding of the character and their sacrifices. Why fans overlook the act? So why don't fans always recognize Spock's betrayal as an act rather than the real thing? Part of it is the power of the performance. Leonard Nimoy sold the deception so well that viewers instinctively believed it, even if only for a moment. Another factor is how rarely Star Trek pulls this kind of twist. Genuine betrayals, like Eddington's or Sisko's, leave such strong impressions that they overshadow the subtler betrayals that weren't. But recognizing Spock's act for what it was adds a layer of appreciation to the storytelling. It reminds us that Star Trek's characters often operate on levels the audience can't immediately see, and their loyalty may shine brightest when it's